one and all. Welcome back to another edition of the Average Guy's Guide to Life podcast. You know who I am. You know what this is. Yeah, bitch. You. This is an unusual scheduling for me, but I figure I'm not going to put myself on a strict timeline of releasing these things. I'm just going to do it whenever I feel like I have something interesting to say. Whether it be interesting or not, I feel like it's interesting. You should too. I'm an interesting fellow. Uh, so I'm going to begin this podcast by just talking about the obvious. The fight that happened Saturday. I'm recording this on Sunday. I think I'm going to release it today too. So the fight that happened last night between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. And um, the majority of my Facebook friends and my social media followers, they're African American, as am I. So that's pretty normal. So I'm seeing a lot of, you know, Tyson Fury hate and some funny memes in regards to how Deontay Wilder lost. And I saw one that was in regards to it being Black History Month. And, Tyson Fury basically took Black History Month or some shit like that. Or Deontay Wilder lost, and that's that's like a black eye on Black History Month 2020. I think that's laughable. It's pretty stupid. It's a pretty stupid thing to say, and it's pretty stupid to uh, try and discredit Tyson Fury's win. Um, I am an MMA guy myself, but if there's a fight of this magnitude, I'll watch it. I'm into combat sports. So, with that being said, kudos to the man, Tyson Fury. Anybody that's throwing shade at the man just because he's white and he beat a black man, that's dumb. Uh, he's not a white American anyway. He's the self-proclaimed and widely regarded Gypsy King. Gypsy. He's from Europe. Like, hear the man talk. You'll see he's from Europe. And Deontay Wilder had a good reign anyway. He defended the heavyweight championship 10 times. I don't see anyone mentioning that. A lot of casuals flocked to this fight. And I get it. I get it. That means the build up and the anticipation leading up to this fight, it did what it was supposed to do. It captivated. It drew in those casual eyes and those casual watchers. So there's no there is no dirt on the name of Deontay Wilder. Still a great heavyweight champion, one of the greatest ever, especially in modern history. So him losing the way that he did, that didn't mean anything. It's combat sports, people. This shit happens. People will lose. If someone punches you in the head, you're gonna fucking fall. Done. It's physics. It's physics. But do I think that the boxing heavyweight champion is the baddest man on the planet to begin with? No, of course not. Even let's say if Deontay Wilder won, it doesn't matter. I still believe that a heavyweight in the UFC, just a top 10 heavyweight, would smoke him. I think a top 10 heavyweight would smoke Tyson Fury. It's just two different sciences. One, you're just throwing hands, and the other, you can throw whatever the fuck you want within the agreed rule set, but you can kick somebody in the fucking head. If Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder were to get into a real fight, where there wasn't any limitations on what weaponry you can use as far as your body, they'd get fucked up by, a top 10 heavyweight in the UFC. I firmly believe that if Tyson Fury were to fight, let's just say Francis Ngannou. And if you don't know who Francis Ngannou is, Google this motherfucker. Like, to me, that is the scariest man on the planet. And he primarily boxes, like he primarily throws punches. I don't think he's ever shot for a takedown. I don't remember him throwing very many kicks. But if either one of those guys was to get to a ring with Francis Ngannou, and it be a fight where you have all of your weaponry to use, knees, elbows, kicks, takedowns, they get destroyed. Let's take the UFC heavyweight champion, Stipe Miocic. He'd take them to the ground and just beat their head in. It wouldn't even be fair. So, here I am shitting on this boxing event that just happened for no reason. Other than I do have a MMA bias because I think it's true combat sport. That is the purest combat sport. But, the fight was a good fight. I had Tyson Fury winning that fight anyway. I thought that Deontay Wilder almost knocking him out in their previous fight, but still, not able to do it and fighting to a draw. I think that played a huge part on the mentality of Tyson Fury going into this fight because he felt like he couldn't be knocked out. Like he took Deontay Wilder's best punch, took his best shot, and on a lot of experts' opinions, they felt like Tyson Fury won that previous fight. He outboxed Deontay Wilder. If anyone saw that fight before this one, and if you actually follow the sport and you're not a casual, then you would have been leaning heavily on Tyson Fury. I think Vegas was too going into this fight. But anyway, let me get off this subject. Kudos to the man. Good fight. Both good dudes. Now let me talk about what I really wanted to discuss with you. I just wanted to get that sporty shit out of the way. I like sports. So for all of my listeners that enjoy a good sporting event, I wanted to give you something to tickle your eardrums. But something was on my mind when I woke up this morning. And of course, I had to share it with you. It's a dumb practice that we participate in as human beings, all of us. It's not male or female centric. We all do this dumb shit. And it's universally regarded as a necessary thing to do. Although I find it completely unnecessary. And it is also widely regarded as one of the most painful experiences when you're going through it. Yet we do it anyway. It is an experience that everyone wishes they could just skip and get to the ending already. Get to either it be a bad ending or a good ending. We just want to skip this phase entirely and just, have it be what it is. Everyone does it. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about dating, of course. Dating. Going out there and trying to find your person. Whatever avenue you choose to use. Just trying to find someone who meshes well with your specific brand of insanity. Your specific brand of crazy, uniqueness. Or maybe you're not crazy. Maybe you're just boring and dry. You would just want to find someone who's just as boring and just as dry as you. And doesn't mind living a plain bread life. Like a plain white bread life. Eating mayonnaise sandwiches and shit. Everyone dates. Everyone dates. And I'm not talking about if you're in a relationship already or you're married and you go on dates. That's different. You've already established your relationship and you're just going out to do something with the person that you care about. Go out, see things, do things. Okay, I understand that. I'm talking about the single folks out there like myself. I admit, I'm a lonely person. I don't have a person, but all of us single folks out there that date to pick a mate. Date to pick a mate. Why? It's dumb. Dating is dumb. It's dumb. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but by the time I'm done explaining it, maybe you'll come around to my side and see the light. How dumb it is. Just, okay. So let's paint some pictures here. Let's lay out some scenarios so you could come around to my side and see why dating is so fucking dumb. So you're not in a relationship with anyone, right? And somehow you meet this person and you like this person. You're attracted to this person. What in the unwritten rule book of life says that you now have to take this person out to do something? Where is this written? Do you have to do that to prove that, you're interested in their company? Okay, that's a possibility. Do you have to do that to prove that, you're interested in doing things? That you want to explore the world and all that it has to offer? Okay, that's also a possibility. Here's how I see it. In 2020, the year 2020, there is no possible way to hide who you are. If you like a person, more than likely you've seen all of their photos on social media, on the Instagram or Facebook or whatever the fuck, Snapchat. So you know what they look like. And if you know what they look like and you have access to their social media and you know their name, so more than likely you're talking. You're texting or talking over the phone. And if you've had more than one exchange and you guys get along, so it's fair to say that you like each other. Okay, so you know what each other looks like. You know that you dig this person, you vibe, you got a good connection, good conversation. Why then do I have to take this person or them take me or us take each other? Why do we have to schedule a date to go somewhere, sit down across from each other, and watch each other eat? Why? Is the frequency and the capacity of what you eat, is that going to be a determining factor on whether or not I want to be in a relationship with you? How fast you could fucking scarf down some fucking French fries? Or how you cut your steak or how you take your steak? Is something like that going to determine whether or not I want to, be seen with you in public? I mean, at the end of the day, I think this is true for women as well, but mainly for men. When we see a woman and we vibe with a woman and we're having a conversation and we get along, without a date ever happening, we know already whether or not we want to fuck you. I mean, that's as simple. So, do women feel the same way? Like, when you see a guy, you've seen all his pictures, you know what he looks like, you guys have a good conversation and a good connection. Do you know you want to fuck him? If this is true, and both parties have that connection, and they both have that that awareness that they want to fuck, why do we have to go and fucking sit down and eat? Like, why? Why are we participating in this? Like, are you gonna drink it from the glass or are you gonna use a straw? Ah, no, I could never date you. You drink from that glass? Ah, how many lips have been on that glass? Let's go walk around. Let's go walk around and stare at buildings. Let's go to the beach and look at water. How you gaze at this water is going to determine whether or not I want to have children with you. You're not interested enough in the water. I could never date a woman who's not interested in buildings, tall buildings, or the water. Yeah. Or I could never date a man who doesn't want to walk around, who wants to share the same space as me and move to an undisclosed location. Maybe there is no location. We're just moving to be moving. We're just walking around aimlessly. Why? This is so dumb. It's so dumb. Dating to find a mate is dumb. We're all grown-ups here. If you like me, say you like me. If I like you, I say I like you. If I like your face, I say I like your face. You like my face, you say you like my face. If you like my body, say you like my body. More than likely, if we got into this point, I already know I like your body. And I've already told you. We get along? So why the fuck are we doing this? Let's just cut past all the song and dance here. We're either going to do this or we're not. I think the main determining factor, the primary determining factor, whether or not you're going to be entering in a relationship with somebody is basically, the fundamentals of life, biology. It's biology. It's a chemistry. We are mammals. We need, to procreate. Well, we don't need to, but we at least need to be sexually attracted to somebody. The fundamentals of life, folks. Why are we denying them? So I believe the determining factor on whether or not you should enter in a relationship with someone is, number one, who they are as a person. And are you compatible with their personality and their character? Do you mesh? Do you get along? That's number one. Number two is if you're attracted to them. Can you see yourself with them in public and not be ashamed? And number three is, are they a goal-oriented person? Are they responsible, independent? All that shit. And number four is, can you see yourself procreating with this person? Are they good in bed? Everyone loves to black that one out. Everyone likes to overlook that one. But trust me, hundreds, if not thousands, of relationships end every day, every week, because someone ain't holding up their end of the bargain in the sack. Or they're just not good. Or they're denying their partner. Shit, people cheat because of this, So it is a factor. It's one of the main factors. What is your fucking bedroom game like? What is it? Are we going to be able to sustain this over years? Am I going to get tired of you fucking me? Are you going to get tired of me fucking you? On that list is not how good of a date can you take me on. That's not on the list. Who gives a fuck? It's ridiculous, people. I'm going to start a new trend, and I'm going to start a petition to skip dates. Skip them. I'm going to start a fucking campaign. I'm going to print t-shirts that say ban dates. Ban them unless you're already in a relationship. Dates are dumb. It's going to be one of the t-shirts. We're all adults. So let's skip that. If you get along with somebody and you like their character and all that good shit and you want to fuck them, y'all got that sexual energy along with the compatibility. Because the compatibility is important too. You can't skip over that. But you got sexual energy. Just fucking do it. Take the ball. Enter into some shit. There's no fucking limit of the number of relationships you can be in. Who's to say this has to be the last? But going through this whole song and dance isn't healthy. It's not necessary. Strike while the fucking fire is hot. Bond with somebody. Get over that dumb shit of trying to see how people eat. Doesn't make a difference, folks. Okay? I don't care what the fuck you order. You ordering a fucking Caesar salad or a fucking Philly cheesesteak? Who gives a shit? I mean, in the long run, if you keep ordering those Phillies and we're in a relationship, then I'm going to say something, of course. You're getting kind of sloppy there, fella. Getting kind of carried away, huh? You want to kind of slow down with your carb intake. Anyway, I guess that leads me into my next point. And I don't know how many other people can relate to this. Like, I know everyone can relate to that last thing because everyone has struggles with dating. It's like I said, it's a universal thing that we all participate in that is universally hated because of the process. The process is dumb. So let's just abolish the process, folks. But I'm not going to get back on that. So everyone can relate to that, but not everyone can relate to this next thing that I want to talk about, which is introverts dating. Now, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't know what an introvert is, I'm going to need you to Google that shit real quick. Can you do that for me? Okay, you should have Googled it by now. Now, just to give you the rundown, because I am an introvert of sorts myself. I'm an introvert with extrovert tendencies and extrovert experiences. I'm an introvert when I'm left to my own devices. Let's put it that way. I'm an extrovert when I'm in a certain relationship, either with friends or, significant other. But, an introvert basically stays to their own devices. They don't have the itch or the desire to be around people. They don't have the itch or the desire to go out and do things that they deem unnecessary, like bars or clubs, especially by themselves. It's just weird and it's awkward, They don't desire, just to feel crowded. An introvert mostly plays out their life in a very simple way in their heads a lot, very thoughtful, very calculated with their movements, not spontaneous. Maybe they have spontaneous qualities, but not by their own nature. Okay. So this is an introvert. Now, my question is, how does an introvert find love? How does an introvert date? Now that I've discussed in very great detail of how dating is done, just the process of it, the song and dance, but how does an introvert at least find a person? How does an introvert find their person? If by their own nature, they're not out there prowling the streets looking for them. They're not out in the clubs dancing on the dance floor, hoping that they bump into somebody and they can, grind their ass on their crotch. Or they're not at the bar, prowling around, scoping the field, trying to find which girl he can buy a drink for. How does an introvert find their person if they're not out there doing these things? Well, the general consensus is that an introvert's best bet is to try online dating. That has been successful for a lot of people. It has been unsuccessful for a lot of people as well. I don't think that's a final answer. I just think that's one avenue you could take. That's a partial solution to a more grand problem. Because like I said, I am an introvert of some sorts myself. And I've experienced this. And it's not easy. That whole online dating thing, it's kind of it's a disappointing experience. So what do you guys suggest? What do you think? Because I mean, I'm posing the question. I really don't have an answer for it. I don't have an answer for this question. Because if two introverts don't ever go outside of their comfort zone, they're never going to bump into each other. They're both sitting at home. They're not going to bump into each other at the fucking grocery store. That's unrealistic. That shit only happens in romantic movies or rom-coms that paint these unrealistic pictures and give people unrealistic expectations. I mean, that's not how real life works. You're not going to bump into your soulmate at fucking car wash. And all of a sudden you realize that you guys live, you know, mirror image lives. Oh, you're an introvert, oh, so am I. You like to stay to yourself? Well, so do I. No, don't think like that. All of you fucking dumb shits that think that rom-coms is a depiction of real life, please go kill yourself. That's not real life. Okay? They're selling you a bag of goods, folks. Selling you a bag of goods. And once you get home and open that bag, you'll see that someone's shit in that bag. And you're going to be very upset. So I don't have the answer to this question. In my opinion, I mean, if I were just speaking to myself here, I think that you have to broaden your horizons. You have to cast a wider net than you're comfortable with for an introvert. Okay, you can choose to do the online thing, and that can just cover one of your bases, but you also got to put your face out there. You got to, even if you don't have to do things that you're not comfortable with doing, you don't got to go to a fucking bar by yourself and be crowded by people. Just go do things that you would naturally do anyway, things that you naturally enjoy. Talk to people, make eye contact. Say how you doing. Say hello. Just put your face out there in your normal way of going about things. Like if you go to the grocery store and you're just going about your business and you happen to pass someone that you find attractive, and you guys meet eyes, just smile and say hello and see where it goes. If they immediately look down and hush and walk past you like you didn't just speak to them, then fuck that person. You weren't meant to be with them anyway. You don't want to be with a person like that. Who's not even fucking kind enough to greet you after you've greeted them. They clearly see you right there, so fuck them. But if they do speak in return, that's good. See where it goes. Just do that. Put your beautiful face out there for the world to see. Cover as many bases as you can without wearing yourself thin and without going outside of your comfort zone. That's just the solution that I would advise. I'm not saying that there is a real solution, but for an introvert, you don't have many other options. You're not out there going to fucking Bon Jovi concerts, are you? You're not out there experimenting with fucking psychedelic drugs and having large orgies in a field, are you? So that's your avenue. Okay. I'm going to close this out with my dummy of the week. And that's me. I am the dummy of the week. And I'm not going to drag this out. I'm going to be very brief about why I am the dummy of the week and why this podcast, I guess 2/3 of this podcast has been about dating, because my dumb ass decided to download damn near every dating app under the sun, and I haven't gotten a response from anyone. My dumb ass. The only people that's reached out to me, fucking big bitches, like fucking big bitches. Like I could talk to you in the street if I wanted to. You round bitch. No, I don't like, I mean, nothing against you. Like, God bless, big and beautiful. There's someone for everyone, but not for me. Okay. There's just, I can't. I can't. If I can't picture you naked and get aroused, you're not my type. You're just not, you know. So my dumb ass just was, I don't know. I was expecting something, and that was the problem to begin with. Going into something with expectations, that's a, you know, that's a perfect recipe for being disappointed, you know. So I got a barrage of messages from big bitches or people that are uh, genetically flawed. I'm trying to not be mean, but you know what I'm talking about. People that have bad genetics. Their parents weren't meant to have a child. Those people. So it was either the round variety or the genetically inferior variety. So that was my fault. I was dumb for that. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. Fuckos and fuckheads. That'll do it for me.